Yo! Hello! Interrupting my normal work day again. I know, I'm sorry. Welcome, guys. Hello. Bit early today. Jock. How you guys doing? Hello. Miro, Garbage. Nemo, Purple, Bribbo. Claw. Kerr. Jay. Russie, Russ. JFix, welcome. ZFQ, Miro. Gary, welcome, guys. I did need some background chatter. So currently I have Season 1, Episode 1 of Profit or Loss on again. Your last notification popped up. Keeping past Joe until President Joe returns. Lovely jubbly. I love that. You welcome. How are you? Go! That's what Soren uses strip installation was. Is it actually? I didn't know that. A man of many talents. How you guys doing? Welcome, chat. I'm going to quickly make a coffee, so I'm going to take my phone down and I'll have you guys on the chat. I just wanted to go live a little bit earlier today. I'm going to have a quick tidy. I'm going to just quickly sort through my boxes that I've got back here, because I said that it's a nuisance and I need to make sure that I get everything in like my life in order, essentially. So that's what I'm going to do. Quickly get that, and then we've got a free repair today. The free repair is actually an Xbox One S, is what we're working on. So and I believe it's a beep on beep off. So it's the first of an Xbox One S of the free repair side of things. So that's, I'm looking forward to getting into it and see what the situation is. But I've got to do a quick tidy, get a coffee, move some things up into the loft, have a look, and see if I can get a box for the missus down from the loft, and then we'll go from there. I'm going to take my phone down so I can see the chats. Welcome, guys. I've got my TTS on as well, the text-to-speech, so if anything comes through, I should be able to hear / see. But welcome. This feels weird. Anyone else feel weird when you, like, just clip your nails? It just feels like a little bit more sensitive. Do you guys get that, or is it just me? Anyone? Anyone or just me? How do I have just like chat only? Welcome, guys. Get what's going on. 2 secs. Had to ask the missus. She wanted a coffee. Just finished my CV and applied for my hospitality job. Good job, Splash. I love that. Probably cutting them too short. Nah, I don't think I am. Or maybe I'll do it every single time. Right, Miro. Maybe potentially politically correct. Ran out of coffee. Wasn't able to have a coffee today. So, Mrs. went shopping. And now we have coffee. Lovely. Lovely chat. Fresh. Not fresh coffee. Grounded. But, you know what I mean. What do they call it? The coffee that I've got is like an Americano micro ground. Oh, it is ground. Micro ground instant coffee. So, instant coffee. Nice solid heaping. Nacho music in the background. Gozzy, welcome, buddy. How are you today? It's me horny. Do you know what? Yeah, this honey gets up and like grows legs. Sure it does. Best coffee of the day. I did have a cup of tea this morning. I hit the same spot though. Very good point, actually. I had a cup of tea, which was my like little dose of caffeine, but I didn't get a headache or anything, you know. It's great success, chat. Usually, sometimes if I miss a coffee, I might get a little headache. Happy diddly days! Welcome, chat. Welcome, 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 welcome. Well, I do like that wide-angle lens back on, you know. I have kind of missed it, I think. Lyu and welcome. Titus, good afternoon, Monfrere. How are you today? I'm good, thank you. Just finished reballing a GTX 1060 core. Not fixed the issue, but still had the same problems as before. At least you didn't kill it. Nice. Yep. Bugsy, welcome, pal. How are you? Good stuff. I mean, that's going to be really, really difficult to do as well. I think somebody actually got in touch with me about a 1060, I want to say. Might have been, was it a 1060? 1060 Ti, something like that. And it was a graphics card that's faulty, so I do have to have a look at that form. I don't really like doing the free repairs on GPUs and other devices at the moment, only because I'm not an experienced repairer on said device. You know, I can take a gamble and do some guesswork on it, but will I be confident in doing the repair? Absolutely not. Is that fair to then put it on to somebody else? No. Little question from last stream: is the box on top of the DC power supply the ISP router? Because I have the same, but here in Switzerland. Is the box on top of the DC power supply ISP router? Yes, it was. Yes, it was. All good. Still got my head in the phone repairs. What's the stitch then, Bugsy? Talk to me about that. What have you got? Was it a job lot? Was it? And Bugsy, is that what you do full time? Is basically profit or loss on phones, or you offer repair as a service as well? You said today's repair was an Xbox One S. If so, that was a first episode of profit or loss. Coincidence? Factually true. Yeah, very true. Very true. Right. What are the chances? You've gone back to watch season 1, episode 1, and I'm doing that very console today. It must be a sign. Is that a good sign or a bad sign? Bodge, welcome, buddy. How are you? Good. I was going to ask, because MS Blind was in the stream yesterday. Was she off work? Or was it just because it was a Monday, and therefore, as in, was she off work when she was meant to be at work, or was she just like on an off day? That makes sense. I don't know, a Monday stream isn't standard. Off on Mondays. Oh, nice. That was a win. Pico, welcome, buddy. How are you? Good luck today, Joey. Thank you very much, Jay. I appreciate that. Kind of you. Hey, Marv. Welcome, buddy. How are you? You can only expect a win today. Facts. Yeah, like I said, I've got a couple of little bits to do in the workshop. They did send me... So, the free repair that's coming today that we're going to be working on a bit later. They sent me a Sky figure of 8, which doesn't matter in the slightest. It's just... I've done that before. On a few occasions, you know. Figure of 8, Sky lead. Funny. Kashi, welcome. Good morning, afternoon. Hello, peeps. I'm fine, good. Is fine good, though? Because it sounds like maybe you're not fine off of that, you know? Because you put a laughing face as well. A big job lot of around 22. Mostly screen fixes. Yeah, I do it full-time for profit, but on the cheap. And I do it as a service too locally. Nice. Tired. Wake up, Marv. Come on, son. Come on, my boy. I just fixed my first repair attempt on a 3DS XL that went into my drawer for 2 years. The best feeling I had the entire month so far. Lyu, I love that. That's what this game is all about. It's all about those fixes and feeling, after you fixed it, that feeling that you get. Dex Sparky, welcome, buddy. How are you? PLD still streaming, or has he stopped now? I couldn't believe my eyes when I saw him do the PlayStation. Couldn't believe it. PLD is still live. Is he still on the PlayStation?
Oh no, I forgot which. I think it's that one. Yeah, there we go.
Did he fix it, chat?
I didn't mark the orientation of the actual assembly.
Did he fix it? Is this his first PS5 Slim? Oh, he's got a toothpick for the liquid now. Okay.
Do I agree with you that everywhere?
Because he had trace repair on the PS5. And do you know what? It's funny, right? I done a stream the other day, chat, if you remember, and I done a PS5 HDMI repair, and I had to replace those exact same traces. Oh, well, the one on the end and another one that wasn't round. Oh, what a legend, man. I didn't see the state of it when he pulled the port off. Wait there.
Okay, I can see the prongs for the power supply. A bit George Michael. Actually, take the board out first. Yeah, I'm trying to.
The port's still on there. Wait. How does he blast off?
Okay,
the bidet? Paul Daniels used the bidet. I was going to say. Paul Daniels used the bidet to get the port off. He needs to patent this, man. He needs to patent it.
Easy. And 70. There we go. You can see it.
His the image in the corner of the screen as well for his live stream when he's taking a port off is minuscule, man. I love it. Yeah, I like it. I like it a lot. What's going on then, chat? What's going on? Any stories, anything like that? What we got today? Let me tell you a story. Do you guys want to know a little bit of a lowdown? I can tell you a little bit of a lowdown. That's for sure. I may have received the text messages from the person who was here when I fixed the PS5 the other day. So not talking about yesterday's stream where we done the PC. I'm talking about Sunday's stream where I had the PS5 that had the torn traces, and it went to that repair shop. One in the chat if you saw that. I have the messages from the shop owner. So I thought I'd share them. Now, I've obviously been given permission from the person who sent me them to share them, but I've also blanked out names and details. So I do have that information as well. Paul don't want none of this smoke. Bodge. You don't want any of the smoke because Paul's been calling me some weird names recently as well. Yeah, I'm going to go through those in a bit. I still think we're waiting for a couple of people to trickle in because usually my go live is 2 PM. So let me just put my gloves on. I'm going to sort through some cables and other rubbish that can just literally be bunged upstairs. I think I do. Send him the flames. I don't need to. I don't need to send PLD the flames. He deserves it. Absolutely, he deserves it. Yeah. PLD deserves it. Deserves the love and guidance. I don't know what to do with this, man. I need to sell it. I need to sell it. Anybody in the chat want to buy a Nintendo Switch 2 that has been taken apart in my video and then I put it back together? Anybody want this bad boy? Starting at £1. I don't know how much they're going for. Is anybody selling them on eBay? Let's see. Which is one of the things I've got on my to-do list to list it up. And nobody's selling them. Oh, wait a minute. Here we go. Nintendo Switch console tablet only plus box, 315 quid. Plus box? The wrapping only shows the Switch. That's a bit sus. Tablet in box only, brand new, in the cellophane wrapper. How much have they sold for? Let me have a look. The all sold. Nintendo Switch. Michael, welcome, buddy. How are you? $414, $413, $400, $400, $445, $445. $140. I bought mine for $439. So I mean, if I can get £400 for it, that's a big dub. $439. Yeah, Nintendo Switch. These are all. Oh no, that was sold today. £439. Oh, I need to put used on as well. Wait there. Technically, it's used, right? 9460 with a Pro case. Nintendo Switch 2. 382 it went for. The original listing. What was the excuse? People saying is the excuse. Bought on a whim and used it less for 2 hours. Excellent flawless condition. I fitted a film protector with no bubbles or dust. The Mario Kart code already, so unfortunately that won't work. And that went for 384. I think I could get 4 for it. I think I could get 4 for it at a push. That'll be a 40 quid loss, which at the end of the day is not bad considering that I bought it brand new and I've taken it apart. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to give this away. Things aren't that good, chat. I can't give this one away. As much as I'd love to, I can't. I definitely by that I don't have enough dough for shipping. If you read the terms, you never actually own it apparently, which is how they're getting away with bricking devices where people have modded them. Yeah, that sucks. I'll take a Nokia 3310. 8-bit repair, welcome. How are you? I already saw damaged Switches 2 being sold on eBay in the local flea market. Both look like they were stolen. I mean, that's probably the only reason as to why they're going to be on there, right? Because people will have warranty, I guess, and stuff. Saying that, you know, people drop them and all of those good things, so never know. I'd be really surprised if some of them just stopped working all of a sudden. You know, I'd be really surprised considering how new they are. Is there a lot of good games out for them? I don't even know if there's any good games out for them. Is that true? That's crazy. What about not owning them? Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if it's true. Nick, welcome. How are you? $80 games are a bit too much. I agree. I'm going to keep this down here. I might try and get that listed today because I've got everything there, and it will literally be the whole shabazz, should I say? I said I was going to sort out some box stuff here, and I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to chill with you guys for a little bit, and then we will move on to the repair shortly. Wow, why does this feel? Oh, okay, fine. Right, so let's bear this in mind, chat. I've literally just unboxed this before I started the stream. And the bottom's already off. So this is a beep on, beep off. Okay? I'm documenting that. It's a free repair. Why on earth has that come off? I don't even want to know. What is the situation? Situation with this one. Just came from PLD stream. Welcome. So this one. Oh, here we go. Wait a minute. Power on, white light, bleeps, turn off after 5 seconds. No soldering has ever been attempted, was 2 years old and new. I opened the case and tried disconnecting the hard drive and DVD drive and repasted APU X clamp with fresh thermal paste. Do you know the first thing I'm going to check? Let me know in the chat right now. If you're going to guess what I'm going to check, the first thing when I take this apart. One thing I wouldn't have clocked reading something like that a very long time ago. I'm going to check around the X clamp. Correct, Bribbo. I'm going to check around the X clamp. I'm going to see if there's any components that have been knocked off. Because if this person, I don't know if they are, but if this person is inexperienced, it is one of the most common things, especially if you go at it with a screwdriver. So that one of the first things that I'm going to do is check that. But not yet. Just need to sort some bits out. Right. So, chat. We're going to agree to disagree. Rip traces as well, yes. We're going to agree to disagree. Okay? Do I need this in my room? I think we can all agree yes. Fact or fiction? Do I need this in my room? Yes or no? Stay safe. It is just like a, what do you call it? Electrical fire extinguisher. All right, 5-in-1. It does cooking oil, electrical, textiles, petrol, diesel, paper card. This is a need. No sound. Unmute. Can somebody tell NB to unmute? Because I think we're okay. It's Joey sized. 6 foot. Controller. PS5. Probably need. Another controller for PS5. Probably need, right? Because this is probably going to go in the sell part, I guess. I'll at him. NB, my friend. NB, NB, NB. At N space B. Unmute. How come Twitch is mega laggy, but YouTube works fine for your stream? Try and lower the bitrate, Defcon. What's your download speed? Twitch is actually better quality for me, but usually that comes with it being 1080p. I have opted in for 2K, but I haven't enabled that yet because I think 2K on YouTube you have to go lower in terms of latency, which would suck. How? I'm on my phone. I don't know. Yes, I don't know. Are you connected to headphones on Bluetooth on your phone? Because if you're connected to headphones on Bluetooth, that would be why. Waity! With the 5 gifted subscriptions, you absolute legend. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. How are you doing today, Wheaty? That puts us 207 gifted. From yourself, Wheaty. Thank you very much, my friend. I appreciate your face. You're an absolute legend. How are you today? Wheaty gifted a sub to Busy, aka NAO, Cert, and Arctic. Working now. What was the problem, Ness? Yeah, listen. We have an in-depth conversation right now. Oh, I've missed this so much. We have an in-depth conversation right now. Do you guys want a scary stream at 1,000 subs? Which? Want it. I will choose the game. I will choose the game. But it will be a scary game at 1,000 subs. Is that what you guys want? I will choose the game. We can make it a thing if you would like. 1,000 total Twitch subs. I'll play a scary game. You guys know how much I dislike playing scary games. If you don't, there is a stream. What I can do actually as well is I can stream it on, I'll be streaming it on Twitch, but I'll also stream it to the JDG channel. Joe Does Gaming. If that's what you guys want, we can make it a thing if you would like. Make it a thing. I hate saying it, but I might as well make it official. I know that a lot of people have been asking. Right, Animal Crossing deal. That's a very scary game. Yeah, I agree. Neo, welcome. EU, welcome. Never heard of it, Liu. Never heard of it. Fear and Hunger. Guys, Xbox controller we're going to keep out as well. Now, this is where we get into the stuff of like, why is this in my life? I don't need it. Yeah. Okay, right. That didn't mean... It didn't mean... Let's get 1,000 by the end of this stream. Right? If we maybe have to wait 6 months, a year, whatever it might be, lovely. Okay? Wheaty, thank you very much for the 10 gifted subscriptions. Mate, that's 15 in the past 2 minutes. Yeah? Insane in the membrane. Thank you very much, mate, for the 10 gifted. To Maui, Gates, welcome, buddy. Alex, Tim, Mob, Mike, Praz, Mr. Brownie, and Marseille. Thank you very much, Wheaty, for the 10 gifted. That puts us on 817. FYI. It is a shoe rack, yeah. It is a shoe rack. Should I have a... Do you guys want me to make a target for the top of the screen so people know? Would you guys like that? I'll only put it on this scene, so it will only be in like the top left up here. But would you like me to make a target on the actual thing? Wheaty, 15 gifted subs, right there and then. Thank you, mate. Alert box. Have you ever fixed the Android boxes? I haven't, my friend. No, Android boxes. Never heard of that. Or widgets. I think it is a widget. I think it's going to be a widget. Follower goal. Nation goal. Sub goal. Have a look. Yeah, here it is. Here it is. I can't believe I'm putting it at 1,000. Starting amount. What are we at, chat? 817. No, we're not included members and gifted members on YouTube. This is just going to be subscriptions, sub gifts, and Prime subs. I don't know why it says sample. It's sample here. I need to copy the widget URL, but it's not changed. Let me have a look and see if this works. We browse the source, I'm pretty sure. Sub goal. Yeah, what a great sub goal this is. It's the invisible one. I mean, I've launched it, but it's not. Bar thickness, all of that stuff. I mean, this is pretty much, yeah. I mean, this is this should be working. Sub goal. Let me refresh. Nothing. Well, we're on 817. Oh, maybe I have to set a goal date. Go for that. Sad face. Settings updated successfully. Let me launch the widget and see if I can see it this time. Doesn't look like it, to be fair. Dave, welcome. How are you? Hello, chat. Yo! Working hard, thanks. Have you repaired a Switch 2 yet? No, I haven't, Donald, no. Are you going to go back to fixing non... Yeah, I am, King, yeah. You know, if you announcement, you're going to be doing it by the weekend. No, it won't. That won't be the case. But yeah, I am going to. Today was meant to be. I was meant to start this afternoon to do some. This morning to do some bits, but I wasn't able to, unfortunately. They ran away with me. I had some other bits to do that took priority. Why is this not? Why is the sub goal not working? Let me just try something real quick, chat. I'm just going to launch this one. So this is a different widget. Yeah, that widget works fine. But like then, for example, if I have, if I use this widget, I need a whole new like haul, I think, of my OBS. I need to up my game. If I add that widget, yeah, you can see. So that's like a little Twitch. How many people are watching on Twitch right now? Which is actually incorrect. Bear in mind. I don't know why it says 0. If I go on to what it is that I need, which is a sub goal, it won't load it. Pretty annoying. If I launch this one, which it doesn't even show. There is another one, isn't there? There's... Did I? Let's see. Checking something real. Widget. I'm just going to try this and see what happens. I'm going to try it. Goal. Type in goal. Customize this bad boy. You know what? I don't want to. I'm so used to using Streamlabs. I shouldn't have to. This doesn't seem to be saving. Let me test. I'm gonna test. Because I could just do one manually. It just wouldn't be very fancy, you know. Alright, let me... Oh, so that's kind of done it. Oh, do you know what? It might have been because of... Alright, that's working now. Do you know what? I think it might be because the title was too long. I think that's what the situation was here. Try that. I think that's going to work now. Ready, chat? Here's the... What do I need? I need this to be thick, right? If I change the bar thickness, what happens there? A bit better. I don't need that to be that. Let me try 400 by 400. 400 by 600. Is that okay? Wait, my window like cropped. Have I cropped my window? No, I haven't. Is that okay, chat? What do we think? Whoa. What happened here? I don't know why I agreed. The best part is nobody makes me. Go. There we have it. Where's my dashboard? There. Jovial, welcome, buddy. How are you? I saw an article about Switch 2 screens being broken out of the box. I read it. Yes, that was a thing. Yeah, that was a thing. What's with the on-hold music today? It's just a playlist that I've always used, mate. By the way, Joey, do you have an address for viewer presents? I did a special repair commission. The guy who wanted it never paid, collected it, and now it's just sitting in my basement. Thank you, but no, I don't. I have a business address that I get things sent to, but it's not really like a PO box. Rad, welcome. How are you? Coleman, welcome. Sorry, I've missed a few. Yeah, I know the font's a little bit smaller as the thingy, but I can't make it any bigger, unfortunately. Bit annoying. TBH. I wish I could make the font bigger. Wait, if I reduce the bar thickness, I can make it bigger. Big brain. Hold on. Yeah. There we go. That's better. Hey Joey, how are the new upgrades doing? Are you feeling the difference? Yeah, so I actually ran what you guys recommended yesterday, which was OCCT, and I managed to put it up to like 95%, by the way. Yeah, I put it up to 95% to stress my RAM, and it was fine. And I've also been doing some editing and other bits and bobs as well, so it all seems to be a-okay. Thank you for asking. Yeah, the RAM situation seems to be all right. If I go into Task Manager right now and go to Performance, my RAM is still coming up as 5600 mega transfers. So that's all good as well. GameJoy, welcome. Graham, thank you very much for the tier 1 for 11 months in a row. Graham, can you believe it's nearly a year? Isn't that crazy? Thank you very much, my friend. Appreciate you. Good evening. Have you ever worked on a Technic? I haven't. Turntables, no, I haven't, unfortunately. I did see a message. Where did I see that message about? Defcon said, Joey, what do you do when you're not streaming? Do you have other jobs, or is this your job? This is my job, Defcon. But it's primarily making content. So I'd say my YouTube takes up more time than what my Twitch does. So I stream 3 times a week. Tuesday, Thursday, Sunday. Occasionally I'll stream more, less. It really depends. And then I have the TikTok, the Instagram, the Facebook, all of that stuff as well. As well as the YouTube being like the primary thing for me, and the primary place where I choose to like house and prioritize my content. That makes sense. Going on. But I have so much stuff back. Okay, right. So things to take up. Now I have to be really sensible here. And I have to get rid of things that I'm just not using in this room. So I am going to try and have myself a proper, do I need this in here sort of situation. Because at the end of the day, chat, it's the end of the day. And a lot of this stuff I just don't end up using. I've got a ton of donor boards down here. Now, do we agree, one in the chat, if you think it's important that we have a shelf for donor boards? I think so. I think donor boards are probably the only exception of clutter that you have to reach and like they're accessible, because it's always something that you're going to use at some point. And I actually use the donor boards quite a bit. So I think we have, yeah, I do need to be ruthless. You are correct, Madak. You are correct. I do need to be useless, but within reason, right? So for example, okay, there is a bunch of crud on my desk that is just, oh, I've got the light on. I've got a bunch of Nintendo Switches that I've had down here that for such a long time that I just don't know what they do. I don't know if they're donor boards. I have no idea. I probably have notes on them somewhere that I just haven't updated for such a long time because things getting in the way, life getting in the way. Now is my time to sort and tidy. And I feel like you guys will be the ultimate motivator for that. Because you can tell me to get a grip. You know what I mean, chat? Is that fair to say? Do you use it, Joey? Absolutely not. Bin it then. What are you doing with your life? That's what I need, okay? Not bin it even, just like put in loft. Because the whole thing is like, I can still go into my loft and get stuff. It's just laziness of having it instantly accessible in my room. Do you see what I'm saying? If you tell me to do the same. Well, why don't you take this as your opportunity to do something about it? How about that? How about if there's anybody right now who is in the same position as me where it's like, well, I need to really sort my stuff out. And you're just watching me right now, put me on loud, put me on a speaker, and let's just do that together, okay? Because it is difficult to do when you're comfortable and you've got all your stuff. It's just like little cable ties and stuff that I've got lying around my desk, and donor boards and chips, guys. The amount of chips that I've got just laying on my desk, that we're talking SSD controllers and Southbridges that are actually worth, you know, a little bit of moolah cash. For example, I've got these chips all here. And it's pretty sad because it's like, well, I don't know which ones of these work and which ones don't work. Like, why do I have these chips here? That's an SSD controller. What? Oh, and you know what, chat? You ain't going to believe me when I tell you this. That's a 70GG. Who can tell me what a 70GG SSD controller is? Who can tell me? Yeah, an Apple. Yeah, exactly. Apple Watch Band. To be fair, I need that. Who can tell me what a 70GG is from? A PS5 Slim. Yeah, and the newer PS5s. Probably worth 80 quid. 70, 80 quid, chat. Yes or no? What am I doing in my life? There's stuff like that. I mean, I've got a bunch of iFixit stuff behind me as well. It's just sat in boxes that I'm not using at the moment, which I can use in the future, but I just need to put them in the box. Do you see what I'm saying? This is my little organizational toolbox that I have, right? Like, what is in here? I've got like a bunch, and they're not in anti-static bags or anything like that, which I know is not great. However, it shall do for the time being. Okay, it shall do. I do have some anti-static bags, but then I believe that you shouldn't put them in the same. But look at this. This is a bag of SSD controllers and Southbridges. I skimped on all my boards. Do you remember I had that stream where I was just going and just taking them all off? I've got a bunch of these. They're really cool. I'm really happy with that, actually. That's going to make my life 10 times easier. I'm glad that I've done that. I do have, like I said, the 70. Now, I also don't want to be skimping through trying to find a 70GG Southbridge. So what am I going to do here, chat? I'm going to put the 70GG Southbridge in a separate bag. Sorry, not Southbridge, SSD controller. That's an SSD controller, but that looks like a... Yeah, that's a 69GG, so that can go in there. Do I have any other South Bridges? Yeah, I got South Bridge there. What's that? That's a memory chip. That's just RAM and other bits and bobs. Well, these are all just PS5 things, actually. And in which case I'm going to put them in another zip bag. Is that an encoder? That looks like an encoder to me. Yeah, it's a Panasonic HDMI encoder. PLDDD. Welcome, buddy. How are you? Already bald? No, unfortunately not. There's just the PS5 pots. Boo boo. But Paul, can you talk to me about your experience with the other ones now? Are they good? What's the situation there? Would you recommend? And are they as easy to install as what the other ones are? Yes or no? Stormy, welcome. How are you? Yes, they're fine. Fine? I think you need to ball them and have them all ready. Don't. I would love to. Hello. Wefts. Thank you very much. I appreciate the Prime subscription, my friend. You're an absolute legend. Hello, who's this? Who are you?
Good morning.
Hello.
Just got back from vacation.
Okay.
Open the door and I see 37 boxes of repairs I need to do.
I bet that's Chris.
How are you in the fam?
I bet that's
And
Chris.
How is Micro Joey?
Micro Joey? Whoa. I don't feel like we're on the level yet where we can talk about Micro Joey. Okay. Wes, thank you very much for the Prime. Chris, thank you very much for the $5 through Super Chat. I appreciate you and your face. Thank you. Coming back to 37 boxes of repairs is crazy. That's where you want to be in life. Well done, mate. I love that. That's incredible. Micro Joey, baby. Yeah. It's just... It just sounded a little bit weird, chat. It just sounded a little bit weird. You know what I'm saying? So maybe it's just my immaturity. Maybe that's what it is. These are SK Hynix. What's this bag? Fine is in non-pro gaming. Sausage hands can tell the difference. They calibrate fine with that online collaborator tool. How did the PS5 HDMI port repair go? Another bag here, aren't I, for the Panasonic chips? I didn't get all the Panasonic chips out. I should have done that because that would have been really. I've got a Southbridge here. Southbridge, are they bald? Wow, they're bald. Okay, so I've got a pack for bald. That's really, really good news. I've got this one, which obviously isn't bald, but this is a 70 GG. Works fine the HDMI port, but I wish it had been a hot swap instead of having to stop and fix the missing pad. Yeah, how long did it take, bud? Did it take a while or was it okay? Yeah, I had one the other day on stream, exactly the same, except for quite a bit of the copper was missing, and it was 2 traces rather than the 1. I did have the same. If was waiting, but it keeps us on top of our toes, Paul, doesn't it? It keeps us practiced, you know. HDMI port was my first PS5 Slim. Love that. They're pretty much, in terms of taking apart and stuff, I'd say they're as much as a pain as what the other ones are as well. I don't think they're a huge difference, you know. I don't mind doing them. I actually quite like doing them. I'm good, thanks. Good to hear, my friend. But yeah, I see what you mean with the trace. Nobody needs a trace repair, really. But it's good to keep on top of it and keep practicing because, yeah, I mean, there'll be a time where it's a big job. Looks like it was a 2-hour job. If it weren't for that trace, could have been 1 hour. Yeah, maximum 1 hour. I guess you're giving yourself extra time there for the fact that it was your first PS5 Slim console, and you're gonna have to figure out how to take it apart and put it back together. Understandably, completely understandable. Which even for 1 hour is really good. The fact you then had to do a trace repair as well is pretty good time. Not a good time, as in like a party time. Like we weren't having a party, but you know what I mean. But I do think you need to stop calling me daddy, mate. I think it's just, you know, there's things in life that are a bit uncomfortable. I saw you using the, I saw you using the toothpick. for the liquid metal. What's the decision behind that? Is it just because that's how you've used it? That's how you've always done it? Or is it like a preference thing? Just your way of doing it? Forgot. Hello, my friend. How are you? I hope that everyone's doing well. We are doing absolutely fantastic, my friend. How are you? I'm just having a quick little tidy up and stumbling across some things. That was just a cotton tip that knew was going to be. Oh, I see. Okay, fine. Gotcha. Oh, so it was a cotton tip. Nice. Yeah, I'm just sorting through a bunch of my stuff that needs to be sorted. You know, it's one of those. What's your preferred method? Would a foam tip one be better? No, so I literally use these. Paul, I'll show you real quick if you want, because I've got a bunch of donors here and I don't mind wasting liquid metal, because actually you can't waste it because you suck it up and use it again. Let me show you. I'm glad that you asked. Well, even if you know, I'm sorry that I'm now enforcing this on you. So here we have PS5, and I'll zoom in like that. Is that probably going to be enough? I hope so. I'll put a little bit of liquid metal on, and let's just pretend like this is a factory bit of liquid metal. I mean, that's a lot. Wait there. Let me suck a little bit out. There we go. So I will come in with a cotton swab, a hairy one, and I will do exactly this. Spread it around like this, like that. Make sure it's all nice and spread like that. Now that's actually, there's quite a lot of liquid metal there, but that's like an even spread. If I was wanting to then take it off, again, I would just get another cotton swab and I would get IPA, drench the tip in IPA, pull it all up. And then respread or suck it up or do anything like that. And then to get that last little bit off, if I wanted to, I would just come in and rotate the cotton swab. Sometimes it won't go up and it will be stubborn, but eventually the hairs actually help in that scenario because they make it clingy. There we go. That's it. That was a lot of liquid metal, yeah. It's just because it came out at the end. I don't use that much. But I try and obviously keep it as clean and tidy as I possibly can. How often do you restock supplies to fix stuff? It depends on what it is. I mean, chat, do you want me to tell you the last time I ordered? You guys know how many like switches and PS5s and stuff that I've done, right? Let me tell you the last time I ordered some ports. Are you ready? This is just to give people out there an idea of how often I order. Okay? You ready for this? So the last time I ordered ports specifically, I mean, I don't even know if they're in my history. Here we go. I bought 10 pieces of Nintendo Switch console USB Type-C ports. I bought 2 packs of 10 in August, or the 1st of August 2024, nearly a year ago. Before that, I bought some HDMI ports. I bought 20 of them on July 8th, a year ago today. Because when I do my repairs, I'm not doing it as a service, so I don't need to constantly have a turnover of ports and all of those things. I'd be factoring them into my price and making sure that I'd done that sensibly, right? But more so, when I order stuff from eBay, a lot of the simple stuff is done. And when I say done, either it's just faults that are really, really difficult, so therefore I don't have stuff like HDMI ports and USB-C reports, like USB-C ports, because if I did, it would be good money, right? Anything I'm buying from eBay specifically is usually like a harder problem to face than your usual sort of service type stuff. I think I'll get through a lot more things now that I'm doing the free repairs. But again, I don't know how long that's going to last before, I don't know, if it gets stressful or anything like that. So I'm just trying to do as much of that as I can before it does get stressful. Zip, thank you very much for the Prime subscription. I appreciate your face. Scary game, 817 subs. Which subs? 819. It just takes, I think it takes a little bit of time, mate. That one came through there and it's 818, right? I think it maybe just takes a little bit of time to line up. I wonder as well if it actually takes Prime subs or something. That's gone to 820 now. We're still on 818. Let me just confirm, because what I might do is get rid of this for the time being. I might get rid of that, and then we can just go straight up to just use that, because I don't want misinformation, you know. I'm not doing it manually, by the way. It is a widget. I'll get a widget. Top goal. Oh, it's Che. No, it's not changed. No, that's fine. We'll keep it as is. What I'll do is I'll just disable this for the time being down here. There we go. And then maybe I can just move this down in the usual place that people would think it is. People who have seen my streams. There we go. Cool. But yeah, so I don't restock that often. Just switch from cotton swab to microfiber cloth for cleaning flux. Game changer. Welcome to the family. Welcome to the family. Yeah, Zip, and thank you very much for the Prime. Appreciate you. You get it from AliExpress? I do get it from AliExpress, yeah. Ads, welcome. Just tuned in. I guess this means your PC is working correctly. Correct. Yes, my PC is working correctly. You got it. Yeah. I'll buy from AliExpress, personally. I've never bought anything from Alibaba. Ever. Not that I'm saying there's anything wrong with it, but I personally haven't. Helmet Man coming in with a Prime for 11 months in a row. Thank you very much for the Prime for 11 months. You are an absolute legend. You've started a hype train as well, so thank you very much for that. I've got these Joy-Cons here actually. One of them is completely dismembered, and I was thinking about maybe just switching it out because I can take the buttons and those things and just put it on a normal standard rail, guys. Right? Is that true? All I'd have to do is swap this back bit out, take the two buttons and put them into another black bit, right? Fact or fiction, chat? I think what I might have to do today, actually, because I know that it's quite boring for you guys, is what I will do is I'll just go for the repair that we've got, the free repair, and then I'll probably end the stream at some point and do the tidying and stuff after I finish the stream, because taking you with me for the content of me in terms of like taking stuff upstairs and all those good things, not worth it. Not worth it. I don't think it'll be good content for you guys to watch. So I try and replace this real quick and see if I can replace that, because I've got a few dead Joy-Cons up here. I can definitely do that with, and then we'll move on to the free repair. Is that okay with you guys? Does it have to be the same direction? Does it have to be the same direction? Battery is good. Looks to be bad. What of this? You can't tell, can you? Bodged. This one's bodged, definitely. I was thinking about taking this, but then again, I also don't know what's wrong with this, so I don't really want to. Yeah, that does look a little bit. See what we do. That. We'll leave that for the time being. I'll have my tidying up and stuff. I'll do that after. Let's put all of this away, and I'm just going to get started with the free repair. Get some actual repair content going, because I know that some people get a bit hasty. Okay. Doesn't look so fat. No, it doesn't. You're right. Gonna move it down a little bit. Okay. Guys, thank you very much for the hype train, by the way. I appreciate you. This one's gonna be, I think, anyway, it's gonna be utterly incorrect. Okay. Du- 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 du. Box S. Apparently it's 5 seconds. I'm going to take a look at that now and verify. So I've got the cable here. That is the customers. Don't let me forget. I got this today. I literally picked this up today, by the way. We're going to see what the situation is, guys. Look, I mean, the top. I'm noting the condition of this before I go into it. Can you see the top of this? What's happened there? You know, this has been obviously taken apart before. He has stated that in the email. I'll read the email out to you guys in a second. But I'm just kind of logging this now before I go a little bit further, just in case, you know. Right, so here we have information. What's wrong with the device? Powers on, white light beeps, then turns off after 5 seconds. What's wrong with it? Sorry, has anyone attempted to fix it before? No soldering has ever been attempted to it. It was 2 years old and new. I opened the case and tried disconnecting the hard drive and DVD drive and repasted the APU X clamp with fresh thermal paste. Still the same behavior. Power on, white light, bleeps, turns off after 5 seconds. I did say that I was going to check, but it sounds like what they've done is they've already taken it apart as it was already faulty with a beep on, beep off. I misunderstood that when I first started the stream, and I said the first thing I'm going to check is around the APU to see if they've knocked any caps. It sounds like the fault was pre-existing, them taking it apart. My nephew was playing a game, then left the Xbox and came back, and the Xbox had shut down at first. He thought it was dust and thought the machine had overheated. My sister passed the white Xbox One S on to me. Whoa!
Ty, for all your support to me and my ship. You are an amazing inspiration.
Chris, that's very kind of you. £18.42 coming in from Chris. Thank you so much, mate. I really appreciate that. You don't have to do it. That's a big tip, though, my guy. That's a big tip. Thank you very much. I'm glad that I'm an inspiration. That means a lot. You just got to keep smashing it, my friend. You've got a lot of repairs to crack on with as well. Good stuff. Thank you very much, guys, as well for the hype train. Was in the bag in the hope I could bring it back to life to fix it for him, where I attempted to use one of your internet video tutorials to clean the fan. Then my sister gave me the Xbox where I opened it. I saw her with the correct screwdriver and opened the case and tried disconnecting the hard drive DVD. No soldering has ever been attempted. Okay. So it sounds like they've tried to clean it, try to fix it, and it's just not worked. So let's see if we can get this resolved. Don't worry about it, Chris. It's okay, mate. Don't have to do any of it. You know that. I should probably see what the situation is with it first, right? So let me try and plug it in and see what actually happens. Where's the power? I've got it back to front. I think it's here, isn't it? What happens? Do we get 5 seconds? 3, 2, 1. I heard a beep, so I'm just going to give it a couple seconds. Heard a beep. That's not a 5 second plod. There we go. Okay, here we go. Getting somewhere. Would have been turned off for a long time. Not a 5 second bot. That's a beep on, beep off. Okay. 5 second. That's a 1 second beep on, beep off. Get taken apart. Sweet. I have. That's. I like stack of books kept there for this electric, because I kind of need those badly right. Xbox One S's are like the worst for screws. Well, tell a lie. Xbox One X's are the worst for screws, but these aren't too far behind it. And I can't find my T-bits. Well, they wouldn't have gone far because I don't use them. You know, it just doesn't happen. So, and I wouldn't have said, oh, I'm going to put these over here far away because I don't use them. I wouldn't have done that. I wouldn't have done that. Sorry, I should kind of say that I do. I've kind of just misspoke there. I do use them. So therefore, I found them. Under an old MacBook. Hey Peter, how are you? Right, we need the T10. The big boy. Oh, well, since I've used this drill, that's for sure. I only took that out because it was brooding. PSU caps, I'm not too sure about that. Look, if it's something like a PSU, it's getting swapped out. Simple as that. You guys know me by now. Okay, chassis not bent. I just don't think it was put back on correctly. I think that's why we had the issue. But first things first, I'm going to test the hard drive just to make sure. I don't know if they swapped the hard drive out or whether they just said that they took it out, but I'm going to test it on my PC and just go ahead and make sure that the hard drive itself is okay. It's the first thing we're going to want to check at this stage. Sure. I will go ahead and just take out all the screws. Again, in a sort of just in case scenario that we need to go any further. And I'm already here, you know what I mean? Yeah, I love tearing down a 1S. They're so easy. They are. Once you know exactly where the screws go back and stuff, yeah, they are. I mean, the drill has helped me massively. Sorry, the screwdriver, I should say, the electric screwdriver. Prior to having that, my wrists would ache. Are these really worth fixing anymore? And how much did this one cost you? This is a free repair. So I'm repairing this one for somebody for free. There's that. They've done a good job, to be honest, of taking this apart. And even putting it back together. These can be worth it if you get them for a £5. You might be able to sell them for 50 quid. And if you're doing 10 of those a day, it can be good profit. You'd have to have quite a high turnover with them, know what you're doing. That would be like at an experience level, I guess. And you have to be quite quick at doing it as well, obviously. Plug the drive in. Drive okay. Yeah, bip. That's not bad. That wasn't too long. Let me check crystal disk. Crystal disk not loading. Usually means it's a bad drive. So it's not loading. Let me take it out. Ready? I've taken the drive out. And I'm going to try and open crystal disk again. Open straight away. That usually indicates a bad drive, FYI. I can't even read it. Which means that data on it is gone. Unless it's going to be like advanced data recovery. Let me see if I've got any drives. I don't know if I've got a 1 terabyte. I don't think I've got a 1 terabyte. I think I've only got 500 gigs. Which kind of sucks for this person, but at the same time, it is a free repair Do you think that's fair, guys? Think that's fair if I go back and I say, look, I've only got 500 gigs, unfortunately. A working console is better than a non-working console, right? Do you think it's fair that I go back with a 500 gig? I do feel bad. I don't have any terabytes. I've just plugged a 500 in. I haven't heard the beep. Let me try and open Crystal Disk and see if it recognizes the... Not even being recognized. Let me spin up disk management and see if it's there. Being recognized. Okay. Maybe I was a bit too go with it. Still nothing in disk management though. Why is that not appearing up? Try another one. That one just might be dead. How's this one? Nothing as well? You joking? That's two different ports tested. Hopefully it's not my... I don't think it is the reader because it didn't like the first one I put in. Try this Seagate one. I've got two more Seagates, 500 gigs. Try those two. These might potentially be bin then. Amazing. Try these two. Seagate, pretty reliable. Lights are on as well, which indicates that it is technically working. Disk management. But unless it's very possible, chat, that these could just be bad drives. Got it. Okay. When I sorted my power supply out yesterday, I clearly didn't put in some USB ports. I'm getting power. I think I'm getting power, but I'm not getting data. Wow, how interesting. All right. Well, with that being said, let me try the original one. Good job I tried a completely different port on the other side of the case, because I would have been scratching my head. All right, let me try the original drive in a good one. Okay. Disk info is going to pop up. It is. It's got 35,000 power counts on, and power hours on is only 6,000, but it says good. So I actually think it is okay. I actually think their drive is okay. Interesting. Okay, so it's not going to be their drive that's causing the beep on beep off. So we think. Very possible. We've had this before. I don't know if I've still got the cable tester, but it's very possible to actually be this device here, which is the actual thing. It's the thing. Look for a PCB, Joey. Having that right. Good. Exactly what I need. Very possible it might be in these. Generally, USB aren't connected directly to power supply. It might be that I accidentally knocked a cable off the board then or something. Motherboard. Changing some bits around yesterday. That's also very possible. Very feasible. That might have been what's happened. But either way, it's something I've clearly done when I was changing my PSU and some other little bits and bobs. I have got drives here. But something like that I would keep down here, because that does come in handy every now and again. Bean boot. Yeah. And let me check the box. Final one, because I don't think it's lower ones. Kind of looking for a PCB that has battery. And it basically connector to make sure that we've got cylinders firing. Like that. Found it. Like I was one sweep away from saying a Dumella. I was one sweep away. Okay. What was the connector you removed yesterday? Could that be for... I didn't remove a connector yesterday. There was one that I think I moved out of the way, and maybe I've knocked it. Yeah. Alright, so this is our little jig. So I put that in here. This wire looks really good. Then I go Xbox One S up here. Should light up like that. And want to just make sure that it's okay, but you can see all of these. So we've got ground, B plus, B minus, ground, A plus, A minus, ground. Good. Got that one as well. Now what I'm going to do is give it a wiggle. Alright, so this connector's fine. We know the connector's okay. Yeah, it's USB in the front of my PC. It's not working, yeah. And I need to sort that out because I'm already a man of many USB ports. So I definitely need to get that sorted. Right, so we know that the beep on beep off isn't being caused by the hard drive, nor is it being caused by the hard drive cable thing. So we have a beep on beep off situation. Is this going to be the first one that we can't fix, by the way? Is this going to be our first free repair that we are unable to resolve? Yeah, what do you think? Yes or no? I'm going to go ahead and say, oh no, there's T. No, what, you think I am going to fix it? I hope so. You are it. I've not got any of that stuff set up yet. I have been told by many various different people that I should probably set up UART to read Xboxes. Puzzle that's tough, not for Joey. I'm not smart when it comes to these repair guys. I'm not. You know, it is what it is. That felt kind of easy. Like I said, they're definitely competent because they've put this back together well. How well, I can't validate that just yet, but they've done well. You say a common issue, Donald. Personally, I've never had a beep on beep off that's been a retimer. I know that it can happen because I've seen it happen to Phil a couple of times. I've not been that lucky. Ever. My luck when it comes to beep on beep offs is usually down on the RAM IC. That's where my luck comes from at fixing. I am just going to inspect the back, but first I'm going to require the number one tool. Who can tell me what that is? Guessed it. X clamp remove. So because somebody's been in here before and they're saying it's a beep on beep off, I do need to confirm visual confirmation. I've gone for the wide angle L, scope on, and let's have a general inspection, starting with the back. Now this is exactly where the clamp is and covers just here. I'm just making sure that there's no knock components or anything like that. Any loose ones that I can see that might have potentially been messed with, you know. I'll go for the L, to be honest. Let's put the L on. Finer zoom. Captain, welcome, buddy. bit more specific, shall we? If you see anything, scream. Looks okay to me so far. Hello, Danny. Coming in with a prime for 5 months. Thank you very much, mate. I appreciate your face. Thank you. Very, very kind of you. 5 months. Legendary. Visual inspection on these boards is very important, chat. Okay, doesn't it? Often do I use my ultrasonic cleanup? Rare. Very rare. Dazzler coming in with a prime for 6 months. Dazzler, thank you very much, my friend. I appreciate you.
Yay.
Very kind of you. Thank you, my guy. Test for our voltages in a second. First things first. Knowing that this little chip can go faulty as well. But as far as like not components go, pretty clean. Nothing's really like jumped out to me yet. You know, insinuating that it could be at fault. This area can be faulty as well. Right, let's get the multimeter on. Get some power plugged in, and then we're going to check for our voltages. Okay. Welcome to the stream, by the way, guys. Thank you very much for joining. I appreciate you and your faces. If you're enjoying the stream, hit the thumbs up button on YouTube. Little button down below. It might be flashing when I say that, FYI. Might be flashing. If it is, happy days. If not, okay. And also hit that follow button on the old Twitchies. Shout out to a few new followers. Let's get a little shout out. Turtle, Low, Devil, Ready, Captor, Nay, Army, Mythic, Mike, Wheels, Ashken, Tom, NHL. Guys, thank you very much for the follows on Twitch. Appreciate you. I say the software is more playing up rather than the actual monitor. 8-bit welcome. We're just having a look at something. Not necessarily, I wouldn't say winning, no. 5? Oh, that's so... Okay, chat, it's not 5, it's not 6. $10. I sound tired today. Thank you. Thank you. Voltage check. Exactly that, TiVo, yeah. You guys can see the voltage on the screen, yeah. And the power supply. Okay, power supply plugged into the board. Should have a standby voltages now. So first off, we're going to check 12 V's. The Rees GG. We get 12 V's. On high speed. $12. 12 volts coming into the board. We know that because we get the power on, I guess, as well. No harm in checking. Start with the highest one, so then we go down to 5 volt. Down here. So this is 5 volt. Get the 5 volt. We get the 3.3. Yes, we do. We get the 1.8 standby, which is here. And then we get the 1.1. All of our voltage rails are present. We do not have a short on any of those. Okay, so no shorts on any of the power rails. Just a beep on, beep off sort of situation. Be anything and everything. I'll see if I've got any shorts anywhere else. Don't think I'm going to, but there's no harm in a quick check. The way I'm going to do this is go around the board in continuity mode and just press on some caps. If I get any weird readings. Anything that I might think is like, oh, that's a bit strange. These boards are like known for having like almost what looks like factory flux or corrosion. Oh, now I've already checked the 12 and just make sure that I get a ground beep. $87 ohms on Scoffy. 87 ohms. $60 on RAM. Timer chip. 691. Pretty normal. Usually around the 0.8. But it can be different on the 1S's. You not got a Pi Pico to hook up I2C post reader? Just spoken a different language to me, mate. Music stop. No, it's slow. It's softly in the background. Hello. Yeah, a Pi Pico to hook up I2C post reader. I don't know what that is, Bridger. I'm afraid, my friend. I really wish I did. But you are speaking a different language entirely to me. I guess like a Pi is like a little device, right? And I'm assuming that you're talking about some sort of I2C postcode reader. It's like you are. Is it going to be something that I've got that's like here? Something like one of these? I don't think the Pi Pico stuff. I like got it in same thing that I use for UART. Is any of these? The thing I sent to from Craft Joey. Yeah, I thought that's what it was. Botch. Where did you put that? Did you put that in DM? If so, can you quickly can you forward it to me real quick on DM? Please. I think you put it in the mod one. Yeah, Pi Pico, here we go. Craft wanted you to know about it. I've got it. GitHub. And go post. This software flashed to the Raspberry Pi allows monitoring of postcodes, which is for fault diagnosis on the hardware. It's for FAT SX and then Series SX. Oh, Craft's done videos on it as well. Oh, wow. How handy is it then? Have you used it, Ben? Oh, I don't know if Ben's in here. I don't think he is. Bridger, have you used it? He says very useful. Crafters Guru. Yeah, he is good. I have to go. Have a great day. See you later, for God. Thank you for joining. Not worth the investment until it's usable for Series Xboxes. That's what it says though, Dreams, on the GitHub. On the GitHub, it says Series X and Series S. Tell you which power group hasn't powered up. So, explain that to me in a little bit more like layman's. Is it? Well, it won't say it in like pure English, right? But it will give you some sort of code which you can then relate to something and go from there. I will try a thermal cam. Only a few quid. 3 wires solder. Is that process called UART as well? Like a hot APU to me. Wow, that's a very specific spot, by the way, chat. I don't know if I need UART to identify this one. What do you think, guys? Yeah, can anybody see on the right when I go to boot it up? Can anyone see that? Yes or no? Ready? See it? Here. That shouldn't happen. Ready? I'll do it again. Literally over here. Can you not see? Can nobody see that massive heat spot? I say massive. It's tiny, but you know what I mean. Looks okay. I don't think it does. Chat, it's not meant to happen like that. I don't personally think so anyway. I could obviously be wrong. That doesn't look normal to me. Right, without any thermal paste. Yeah, I will check and see if it's one of those small caps, but it could be the ones on the back. No, there's definitely a spot there for me. Hold on. Let me see if there's any cracks in the die or anything like that. That doesn't seem like a normal boot to me. Usually it like spreads evenly. So that would insinuate to me that something is wrong with the APU. I could be wrong. Based off experience. Microscope. Ah. Alright, chat. Well. Experience has done us well today. Experience has done us well. I could have gone down a whole road of ordering a lot of stuff there as well. Yeah, GG. GG. That's been like that's been dropped. Is there can anyone explain in the chat from like a logical standpoint as to how it actually you get cracks on the die like this? Can anyone actually explain it? Because I don't think I've ever like Can you explain the reasoning on how that happens? Is it because the chip gets too hot and that's a specific area as to where it explodes? Or like, what? You know what I mean? I've had way worse than that and still work. The working parts aren't that close to the edge. Really? I mean, surely that's cooked. That's how I've always known it, is if you have a crack on the APU, it's game over. Not that it necessarily means it's broken there, but the APU is cooked, no? Impact, weight of heatsink. Sense to me. Not cracked, worth holding on to and test it with the postcode. Yeah. I'm okay to call this one GG. The area where it's lighting up is in the middle of, there's no caps. That's not a crap, that's a chip. Typically from heatsink not properly installed or stated. Dropped. What I'm struggling now to understand, guys, is that whenever we've seen a crack like that, we've always written it off. So what's changed? What's changed there? Because we've always said that they're just done at that point, no? I don't understand. Unless I've really missed something. PS5 crack like that is 100% dead, but Xbox, nah. Why is it different? My issue here, yeah. My issue here is this heat spot. How it's not like a shared thing. What's this? See the screen? This is my issue. And the fact that we've got a crack as well. Of course it freezes. See that? That's not look, that is somewhere on here. There is a cap or something underneath the die, whatever it is. You can't tell me it's not. It's like here. Can you see that or not? Too sus for me. Too sus. One side of the die is CPU, the other is GPU, so possibly both not powering up. Where's the which cap am I checking? Dreams? Which one are you talking about? Nah, RFL. No, it's not worth switching there because then I'll just like completely wreck it. I don't have the equipment and do it. Where's the cap you're talking about, Dreams? Is it above the APU? Yeah, I think it's dead. On APU. Which one? You talking about the back of the APU or are you talking about one of these little caps? Big cap things. You talking about the back? Any of those? Continuity mode? $60 ohms there. I'm assuming that's something related to RAM then, no? 0.2. 60. 1.2. 60. 2. 60. Just measured one, it's over 3 ohms. What, the ones that I've got here? The 1.2s? They're meant to be over 3 ohms. Is that true? Is that all of them? That's 5. That's 5.4. That's 1.3. That's 5.4. That's 1.3. Each one of these is like 5.3 and 1.4. This one. So wait, is this telling me that the top 2 phases power the GPU, bottom is CPU? Click down here. Oh, here we go as well. 2 ohms. 2 ohms. 1.2. 60. 3. 2. So I'm getting like 2 ohms and 1.2. So that's bad, is it? Because you said just measured one and it's over 3 ohms. I do get 3 ohms on some of them. But like for example here, they get 2 ohms there. 1.4 ground. So that's going to be ground surely. One here. 0.3. This maybe not, because that's 2 ohms. 1.3. 60. So I get a couple of the caps. First one you take to tested, I get 7 ohms on the first. This one, are you talking top left? What do you get on the top left one? You get 60 and the others are ground. What are these pads here? Dreams? On yours. 2 ohms. 1.4. 2 ohms. 1.2. What do you get on those pads? Pretty much the same? All these pads for me are shown as like 1 or 2 ohms. Dead APU, I think, confirmed, which is a shame because obviously this is for somebody. That's not very nice. Very nice. It's a sad day when that sort of stuff happens, you know. And I can't fix it. Well, this is the first one in the series. This is the first one in the Fix It series, the free fix, where I'm unable to fix somebody's device, which really sucks. I'm gonna send them an email real quick. I'm gonna send them an email. Pretty sad. I'm gonna see what they want to do with it. Ed. Sending a reply now. Tommy, thank you very much for the prime, you absolute legend. Thank you. Very, very kind of you. The Twitch subs thing isn't moving. I'm at 825, and the thing down there is 818. No idea what's going on with that. Maybe it'll update next stream, but I'm gonna have to. I think what I might do is just have like a little text thing that says it. What I did months ago. I appreciate it. Get a picture of there. I can get a picture because I'm showing the picture of the crack on the die as well. Queries? What do you mean, Mega? I've said I could put the Xbox One S back together, no problem, send it back to you free of charge. If you prefer for me to just dispose it and use it as parts, I can do that as well, but just let me know. It just sucks. Right, who wants to see something really funny? Try and lighten the mood up. One in the chat if you remember the PS5 that I worked on, whereby we had to repair the damaged trace the other day, and it was from a repair shop. Do you guys remember that? There will be a video coming out on it. You guys remember that? I have communications from the shop owner about what happened with the console. Do you want to see it, yes or no? Where is the thermal cap? Yeah, repair. Hello from Italy. How are you, my friend? Is that the one with the fan? No, it wasn't, Ben. That was a different one. There's no taxes on tips applied to Twitch and YouTube. This lady. No, what I would advise is I'd advise in your wherever you are in the world, look at your local tax regulations. For us in the UK, you have to pay tax on anything that you earn. So yeah, of course, there is taxes on it. I've done like a breakdown of like if somebody was to donate through PayPal, take off that fee and like relative tax numbers, what I'd actually end up with at the end of it compared to like Twitch and YouTube. But yes, taxes do apply. Right. Show you this. Okay, chat, you ready? Bring up the chat box just so. Doozy. Okay. First inquiry, 8th of September. Okay. First inquiry, 8th of September. This is from, so all of these messages are from the person that they got to do the repair. Thank you for your email and sorry for the delay in my response. I was on holiday. I can replace the HDMI port for you. You're looking at roughly 80 to 95 pounds and I can get it turned around for you in a day. I would love to give you a more precise quote, but a lot of the HDMI ports are sold out, so I'll need to try and source one. Red flag. I've never known ports, specifically HDMI, for PS5s to be sold out. This was September in 2024. I really doubt there was a drought of HDMI ports. Do we agree, chat? That's a flag. Do we agree that's a flag? Yes or no? HDMI port sold out. Right, next one. That's 27th, that's it. So this is the 11th. So this is 3 days later, yeah? So we've got 3 days later. Very sorry, I've been a bit busy. If you'd like me to use the same HDMI port already installed, that would be £70. Now, I may have done this myself on 1 or 2 occasions, but it's a rare one. And we're talking only if A, you're saving a little bit of cost for the customer, and B, if we're talking, you can see that the pin has just come away from the solder. and it's very evident that that will fix it and there's no outside damage to the port itself. I've actually got nothing wrong with this, personally, in my opinion. If he's charging cheaper to use the same port, that's okay with me, I think. How much did he say it was? 80 to 95. He hasn't said what that 80 to 95 depends on, by the way. But yeah, I mean, 70, he's marking a port up £10. Not the end of the world. If he's busy as well, I could see why he might do that for like justification. So it's what it is. Anyway, so that's that one. Then, so we've got the 11th, we got the 8th, we got the 11th, and then we've got the 20th, right? I'm so sorry, I have the HDMI port, but I came down with what I think might be COVID at the start of the week. I'm hoping it's nearing the end now. I didn't want to spread it unnecessarily to you. Fair enough. Let's see how I'm feeling by Sunday, and I'll get you booked in on Tuesday, Wednesday next week. If I feel fine tomorrow, then I should be able to get you in on Sunday. Again, I really do apologize. I have been wiped out. Okay. Cool. Right. It is. That's that bad. 27th. Get spicy, chat. I managed to remove the old HDMI port and replace it with a new port. My findings are that the PS5 displays a picture and appears to be work perfectly fine. What I have noticed is that the image does cut out of the HDMI port when it moves up adjacent from the motherboard. Hold on. Why on earth should a HDMI port be moving adjacent? Can anyone tell me? Can anyone tell me why a HDMI port would be moving up? The only way that's happening is if you don't put any solder in the ground holes. Yeah, if you've like really messed up the ground holes, it's the only way. Like, I mean, crazy. Crazy. I'm happy with my soldering joints, but I think because of how the previous HDMI was installed, remember this, please. Remember this. I'm happy with my soldering, but I think because of how the previous HDMI was installed, it has damaged the pins and therefore has a bit of a funny turn when the HDMI is pointing in the wrong direction. Chat, the previous port confirmed was a Sony manufactured port. It was a factory port. He's trying to blame Sony. So he said, or they said, I think it's because of how the previous HDMI was installed. Anyway, let's carry on. I'll get it back together and ready for collection for tomorrow for you. Sorry, it's not a 100% fix, but I can only put it down to an issue with the board and pins. If the port is not moved once plugged in, there appears to be no drop in display. Crazy. And then this one to top it off. From our phone call earlier today, I just want to confirm that you are happy with the risk to apply further heat to remove the broken HDMI port, which could break the PS5. I have to give this guy kudos for warning the customer. But at the same time, this is crazy. As I mentioned, it's being particularly stubborn, and they are designed not to be repaired. So the heat is transferring to the other components quickly. I do believe it's a manufacturing fault due to the way the HDMI port is positioned on the board at a slight angle, hiding the pins. For the HDMI to be at such an angle would take a consistent 440 degrees Celsius of heat for 1 to 2 minutes to melt the solder in the first place, leading me to believe that this was in the condition at the factory. And time has just led to the connection becoming weak due to the pins not being in complete contact with the board. When you have confirmed, I'll get straight on it and keep you updated with my progress. If you would like pictures, I can provide them. So bear in mind, chat, this is where we're at. And just a reminder, this is what we were dealing with. This is the port. Right. This, first things first, that's Sony apparently. Yeah. Yeah, so this is apparently it's Sony's fault that this is why it's like this. Yeah, this one. Yeah, exactly. This one. Where we got 2 rip traces and a resistor that's been knocked off. Yeah, apparently.
Well, I would save that in a minute.
And do you remember,
Okay,
look,
we will get rid of the people are quick to.
this is Sony's fault as well. That there's liquid metal on the board. Now, you know, that could be argued. It could be argued that there's liquid metal on the board. Could it be Sony's fault? Liquid metal can be a little bit iffy, but I'm putting that on the previous tech. Could have been shipping. Yeah, I mean, to be honest, no. I'm going to say no, Dave. Do you know why I'm saying no? Because if it was shipping, you'd have a lot more liquid metal about, and that looks like to me that has been spread by somebody. That looks like it's been spread by somebody's finger or something by accident to me. That doesn't look like a drop of liquid metal that's gone over the board, in my opinion. Because it's different ways. Blame the person who sent this to me, but is in 2 traces missing over here that are in. This is the one as well that chat was saying this guy's lying to you. Some people in the chat were saying this guy's lying to you and he's done the repair and he's messed it up. And then we got that to back it up now. Remember what I said, chat? Don't believe everything that you see on the internet, you know? Important. This middle one here is ground, so we don't necessarily. And then, what do you think? Glue, and now it's solder. Look, I couldn't get this out, whatever this was, and I had to get my tweezers.
What is it?
Yeah,
Ah.
I don't know. This is the one. I think they were using plumber's flux here. I think they was using plumber's flux. And then, do you remember we done all of this? We done that, and then we had to do the trace repair, and we done the trace repair, and then we ended up getting it to look like attached, both of them, like that. And I had to sort the ground holes, but that's how we had it looking like after. Trying to get a good frame. There we go. So you can see nice and clean. Clean as it can be, considering we done trace repair. Yeah. And then at the end, we had the result of it actually working.
Person means I can send it back. It's probably.
There we go. Yeah, Dreams, the fact that you charge 50, you know, it's your business. I'm not going to tell you how to run your business. But there's a lot of varying factors that go into it, you know. If I was personally, this is how I would just operate. This is me personally. If I was to open up a repair shop, if I was starting up my business I wouldn't go so low to the point where people are like, this is scarily cheap. If I did to get customers and build rapport, build trust, I'd make videos and just show people my work and my work ethic to just maybe tell them a little bit more that, you know, I'm not just a cowboy and this is how I do my job. If it got to the point, Dreams, where I was busy, I'd up my prices. Now, this is, you know, when did I stop working at Rocket, guys? This was January 2024. I stopped working at Rocket pretty much December 2023. Rocket, when I first joined in 2021, I think we're charging 90. I think they were charging 90 pounds for the port. Bearing in mind, Rocket Repairs had VAT to pay as well, which is basically a 20% charge that's passed on to the customer. So that's not, they take 20% off of that because Rocket isn't making that any money from that, essentially. It goes straight to the tax man. So what, we're talking £18, pretty much 20 to make life easy. So about 72 pounds profit is what Rocket would make for the port. Take off the port, what, I think it was like £2 back then. We were actually talking 70 quid. Then you've got bills, electric, rent, all of that good stuff, which would knock it down. Then you've also got staff that the owner of the shop had to pay. So all in all, after the job's done, maybe you're talking 50 quid, potentially. If I was working on my own, I had my own place. Even to this day, if I was busy, I'll be honest with you, chat. If I was busy, if I had my own repair shop, knowing still how much PS5s are actually worth now, how much would I charge? I'd charge 70. Depends on a lot of things, but I'd charge £70. I know I do a good job. I know I can do trace repair. I'd give it a warranty. I'd like to think that I'd have trust with my customers and that if they had any issues, they know they can come straight back to me, which is a huge thing. If I got busy, I'd up it. If I was ridiculously busy, I'd have maybe a fee that potentially you could skip the queue as long as it wasn't going to affect the people that were at the other end of the queue, if that makes sense. So for example, if I said I had like a 7 to 10, let's just say for example I had a 7 to 10 working day repair time. If somebody was already on day 10, then I wouldn't have somebody skip the queue even if they paid, that would then push that person over the 10 working day. That person will take priority in that. But you see what I'm saying? If I've got a few repairs that have come in and the backlogs come in and we're only on working day of 3 and I've told somebody it might take 7 to 10, then I would have the opportunity for somebody to pay a little bit extra so they could hop the queue. But I would go 70. If it's trace repair, I would let somebody know before I started the work, and I would discuss the cost of the trace repair before I start. Because realistically, if I could do 2 HDMI ports within an hour, and this trace repair is going to take me that full hour, why would I not charge more in that sense if I was a business? So what I'd say is I'd go, okay, this trace repair is going to take me an extra 30 minutes. If I was doing 2 ports, I'd be able to make £140. Not going to charge you that. But if it's trace repair, I'll charge you 90 to 100, depending on how severe it is. I'd do stuff like that, chat. That's how I'd work. But again, if I then wasn't making any money because people thought that was too expensive, I'd lower my price to build that trust, show them my work, let them know what I'm about, my rapport, and then go from there. Could be that you're having to charge £90 to £100 for these HDMI ports. Bearing in mind, chat, as well, you have to think a brand new PS5 is how much? Still £400, depending. Disc or without, £350, £400. You're going to pay £100 to get the HDMI port repaired. Or are you going to risk going somewhere else that you think, I don't know if they're going to do a good enough job? You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I think that's fair. I think the way that when it comes to like a business in that sense, right? When it comes to business in that sense, you have to think differently. Again, I'm very lucky in my job that I don't necessarily have to think like that. I don't necessarily have to think like that in my in my field of work yet. I'm not at that point where I have to think like that. And again, you guys have put me in that position. Thank you. I don't charge you guys by the hour. I don't charge you guys by the hour. That's not how that works. But yeah, I do feel like it's fair that if you are a lot more skilled in your area of expertise and you can give certain things that other people can't, that you should charge more. For example, if that is a longer warranty, or if it is just based on like a trust sort of relationship and your reputation as a business, I don't see why not. That's how business works, you know. I learned a lot working at the repair shop. $120 if it's fully broken for diagnostic, or more with parts. I would charge if I had a repair shop. You best believe, guys, I'm having a diagnostic fee. The amount of times that repairs came in and you would spend time looking and investigating, and you'd have to call time on it. You'd have to. If you was operating a business, you'd have to. Otherwise, you would not make any money. Yeah. Even if it's like £20 and you say, right, 30 minutes. This is going to get 30 minutes of my time for £20. And sometimes, don't get me wrong, you'd spend a lot longer on that. And so you'd have a lot of occasions, especially in Rocket, I had it. You'd have the diagnostic fee of 25 quid and you'd go to do it. And you think it's going to work after an hour because you're like, oh, there's a couple of things. Yeah, we'll do this, we'll do that, X, Y, Z, blah, blah, blah. And it doesn't end up working. And then you put a little bit more time into it because you're like, oh, surely this should. And then by the time you think about it, 2-3 hours is gone. And then you find out it's a no fix. And you're like, oh, only £20, only £25. But imagine if you had nothing for that. Different ball game. That £25, I know over a 3-hour sort of period is not a lot of money. Yeah, it's all very situational. I'd pay, I'm in Canada and people in my area are charging between 50 to 100 CAD. That's really cheap compared. So that's like what, 25 to 50 pounds for a HDMI port. Crazy. Crazy. What about like a reputable one? Cardboard. Is there a way you can tell if a reputable one? Attention for a HDMI repair. My customer didn't show up. I don't know if they thought it was too much money or what, but I was buying the port also. £70 an hour seems reasonable. $120 if it's fully broken for diagnostic, or more with parts for repair for sure. I've seen places, because they see all sorts of good. Here in the USA, it's brutal. I don't even charge for trace repair. I mean, this is a hobby to make a little bit of extra cash, and I love doing it. Whilst you're practicing, I don't think that's a bad thing. But at some point, I feel like you have to value yourself. Yeah, refurbished on PlayStation Store is £390. Yeah. I spent a couple of thousand building my room, and I learned most of everything from you, so thank you. You're more than welcome, Daisy. You'd pay £70 an hour in a garage. I don't think it's unreasonable business costs, as long as it's covering the costs, of course. It depends, right? Like I said, if I was working on my own and I was working from home, I'd still probably charge that 70, if I'm honest with you. My bills would be very low. I wouldn't have to pay rent. I'd have electric, and all of those good things, but I'd still probably charge that. But like I said, if I wasn't getting the business, I'd have to adjust my business model. I would lower that price. Depends. Some tech places I've been in contact with take 1 hour diagnostic cost assessment if wanted. Okay. Oral, welcome. 2 hour free work like every day. That would get old in a week. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you're 100% right. Here in France, it's between 80 to 120 euros. Yeah, that sounds about right. That's like what, 60 to 100? Yeah, that's the same. That's the same here, Marv. For most people, anyway. Everyone runs their business differently as well, guys. So like these These opinions that I have, these aren't direct instructions to anyone. This is how I would personally run my own business. It's like, it's just one of those things. I'm just thinking out loud, really. I'd consider trace repair and above and beyond repair, to be honest, and expect to pay premium for it. Yeah, I also think that there's, you know, it's explaining that to the customer that these things take time and running them through that process. If you stick an extra 20, 30 pound on a job and don't explain it to a customer, they're going to get confused by that and be a little bit more refused to pay. Whereas if you explain the process, explain why it takes that little bit longer, give them a little bit of detail, maybe show them a previous job where you've had to do that, it's a lot easier of a pill to swallow. 125 here. I'm less than the competition. Just bypass ESD. It works. Get anyone out. When somebody around me asks for a port replacement, I take €50. If you do repairs as a hobby, at least repair interesting things, not a commodity like a console. If you do repairs as a hobby, at least repair interesting. I think that's unfair to say, Testings, because consoles are interesting to me. People have more love on the repair than some shops. Probably don't know what a headache PCB repair is. It's not like changing a spark plug. I don't know what changing a spark plug is like. But yeah, that's my 2 cents. My price is $40 and I buy the port. $30 for half hour is not bad in my opinion. Again, it depends on your needs. It depends on your business model. If you're rammed, if you are absolutely rammed and you've got repairs coming out of the wazoo and you're stressed, there is nothing wrong with you increasing your prices in mind. It does suck. It really does suck. But at the same time, you're going to be the one who benefits. You and your family will be the one that benefits. So yeah, I mean, it really depends. Like me, yeah, Chris. I mean, you said you've walked into 37 repairs, but again, these things are the things that I'm talking about are like, you know, my opinions, and it is what it is. Don't forget, putting the prices up could mean a bunch of different things. It could mean that, you know, you want to take more time. You don't want to work as much. So therefore, what you're going to do then is you're going to subsidize a little bit more time off by raising the price. You can do that as well. If you value your time more than anything else, you can do that. If you want a little bit of time off work, increase the price of things to help you cover that extra hour or two that you want to take off a day. Those are different ways to think about it. Chat, I'm waffling. But it's nice, again, just to kind of sit here and talk to you. I hope you enjoyed the waffle. I enjoy the waffle sometimes. I do it. I like to give my 2 cents sometimes. Not very occasionally, but here's what. Enjoy. Much love. Is Phil live? Is Phil live? Is he? Is Phil live? Is Phil live? Phil is live. Okay, right. Well, I know what I'm going to do. Let's give him a little cheeky. How do I do it? Raid and chat. Make sure I get this right because I got this wrong before. Buddha 2015. I'm going to raid Phil. Much love, guys. Make sure you go over there, show him some love. Tell him I said hello. There we go. Head over to Twitch, by the way, so you can join in on the raid. We're all going to jump in and say hello to him. And then, yeah, we're going to call it there, guys. Thank you very much for joining today. I'm really sorry I haven't been able to fix this. It is what it is. It's a dead APU. I'll wait for a reply from the customer, and then we'll go from there. Thank you very much. Appreciate you guys. And as always, I'll see you in the next one. Probably going to be Thursday. Thank you. Much love. Yeah. Bye, guys.